Hello and good day. We're going to do the layers of the earth assignment together. If you're not sure how to do this on your own, it's okay to follow along with me, and we'll do this together because this is probably something you haven't done before. So here we are on our title screen, layers of the earth. We've got the crust, the mantle, the outer core, and the inner core. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually create, and if you go to slide 2, this objective, which is create a scale or two-scale diagram of the earth's interior on the back of this paper, or I should say on the end of this slide. That's our learning target. I'm going to create a scale diagram. This one looks pretty good, but let's make sure it's to scale because this one is not fully to scale. So let's make a scale diagram right here, and we'll see what that looks like and how that's different. So let's do this. This kind of reaches back to the fall when we did this together, and I'm talking about when we did our scale diagrams of the solar system and things. We're going to have to create that shrinking number by setting this thing up. Now, if you remember how to do this, it's probably going to be pretty easy for you to do this again. So what we're going to do in this situation here is we're going to work on this thing, and we're going to take the actual radius, which is the actual size, and divide it by our scale radius. And when we do that, we're going to get what's called our shrinking number. So I'm going to take 4,027 miles, and I'm going to divide this by my scale radius. Now, what I set is I just said, okay, my radius is going to be 4 inches. So in other words, if I was to have a circle from the center to the edge is the radius, and I want this to fit 4 inches from the center to the edge of my diagram. So let's see what my scale would be. The real size is 4,027 miles. This one is going to be 4 inches. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get my calculator out. Let's go to my calculator here. And I'm going to have to go ahead and calculate these numbers just a little bit, and it shouldn't be anything super hard. You guys are pretty good at this kind of stuff. But I'm going to take 4,027, divide that by my 4 inches, and it equals 1,000 and, we'll go 1,007. We'll round up. 1,007 miles. What does that mean? That means that our shrinking number now is set. If we take 1,007 miles and any other big number we divide by this number, 1,007, it's going to shrink it down to tell us how many it would be in inches. That's what it's going to do. All right, let's go back to this thing. So now we've got our shrinking number. Our shrinking number is going to be, we're going to change this right here to 1,000, I'll put a comma here, in 7 miles. Our shrinking number. That's our scale number, 1,007 miles. I'll beef this up a little bit so it looks a little better. All right, so we've got our scale number, 1,007 miles. So now I come over to the fourth one. You need to divide all the actual radius numbers in this column right here by your scale shrinking number. Oh, that's the one that we just found. In order to get your scale radius for making your diagram circles. Okay, so I'm going to have to do this one by one. All right, 807 miles, I'm going to have to divide by my shrinking number, 1,007. So I go in here and I take my original, which is 807 is the actual radius, divide it by my shrinking number, 1,007, and I get 0.8. 0.8. 0.8 inches. Not even a full inch. 0.8 inches is my inner core. Let's see what this looks like. I come over here. I'm going to go up to Insert. I'm going to go to Shape. And I'm going to look for a circle shape right here. It says circle. I'm going to draw my circle. And then I'm going to click on it, and I want to format this. So format options. Size and rotation. You probably remember doing this. Now the width is not the same as the radius. What does that mean? The width is not the same as the radius. What that means is, remember, the radius is from the center to the edge. And on this one, if we looked at it, it was 0.8. So this is 0.8 inches. That's the radius. But I need the diameter. So to get the diameter, this is the radius. But I need the diameter, which is what it's talking about with the width. So the diameter is going to be from side to side. That's the diameter. Well, the diameter is just equal to 2 times the radius. I think I spelled radius wrong. Wow. 2 times the radius. That's your diameter. So I take 0.8 and I multiply it by 2. 0.8, 0.8, and I multiply it by 2. 1.6. So my width is going to be 1.6 for my width because I had to multiply the diameter by 2. Okay? So I'm going to come back and I'm going to go 1.6. And my height needs to be the same as well. Otherwise, it's going to look weird. 1.6. There it is. Right click, edit text. This is my inner core. My inner core. I'm going to make this a different color by clicking on it, going up to the bucket, and clicking on yellow because it's the inner core. Okay, my inner core is done. Now I'm going to work on the next one. So I go back up here and I take my number again and I type it in, 2,205 divided by my scale, 1007, shrinking number, 2.18. Let's round that up to 2.2. All right, you know what? Let's round it to 2.2. Let's go to 2.2. Okay, so I'm going to go to 2.2. 2.2 inches from the center is my diameter. Or my radius, my radius. So I come back here, I'm going to insert a shape, insert a circle, and I'm going to take this circle, and 2.2 was my radius. I got to multiply that by 2. I can use a calculator if I need to. 2.2, multiply that by 2, because twice the radius equals the diameter, 4.4. Genius. 4.4. 4.4. Uh-oh, it's covering. Right click, order, send backwards. There it is. Now I can align this thing however I want from my inner core, and I'm going to add my text to outer core. Inner core, An outer core. I'm going to change the color of my outer core a little bit. Oh, that's cool. When you move this thing, it gives you some red lines to tell you if you're right dead center to it. That's awesome. My outer core is going to be a different color. I'm going to make my outer core orange. Outer core. Okay. It's kind of looking like this diagram a little bit, isn't it? But doesn't the inner core actually, it's smaller when you go to scale. Okay. Let's do one more or two more. We might as well just finish the whole thing. Why not? Actually, I don't really want to. I want to see if you can finish it. There's your mantle number. You do the same process I just showed you and the same for the crust, and you will have a finished circle diagram for your diagram. Alrighty, enjoy.